there. And me ask, see Tyra, what you do there? See Tyra, ice up she penny good wine like a boxing good. See Tyra, oh man, there. Oh, see Tyra, oh man, there. See Tyra, oh man, there. Oh, see Tyra, oh man, there.
Sunday morning I was passing, and me see Tyra lay down there. And me ask, see Tyra, what you do there? See Tyra, I said she made the good wine like a boxing good. See Tyra, oh man, there. Oh, see Tyra, oh man, there. See Tyra, oh man, there. Oh, see Tyra, oh man, there. Shake, 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 Tyra, shake, 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 Tyra, shake, 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 Tyra, oh.
One day me been a wakana, and me see Tyra pon the dam, and me ask see Tyra what she do there. See Tyra ice up she petticoat wine like a boxing board. See Tyra mo man day, oh see Tyra mo man day. See Tyra mo man day, oh see Tyra mo man day.
One day me been a wakana, and me see Tyra on the dam, and me ask see Tyra what she do there. See Tyra ice up she very good by like a boxing board. See Tyra mo man day, oh see Tyra mo man day. See Tyra mo man day, oh see Tyra mo man day.
See Tyra,
Oh man day,
oh see Tyra,
oh man day,
see Tyra,
oh man day.
oh see.
Shake, 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 Tyra, shake, 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 Tyra, shake, 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 Tyra, oh.
One day me been a bamboo dam, and me see Tyra lay down there, and me ask see Tyra what she do there. See Tyra ice up she penny good wine like a boxing good. See Tyra mo man day, oh see Tyra mo man day. See Tyra mo man day, oh see Tyra mo man day.
Sunday morning I was passing, and me see Tyra lay down there, and me ask see Tyra what she do there. See Tyra ice up she made the good wine like a boxing board. See Tyra mo man day, oh see Tyra mo man day. See Tyra mo man day, oh see Tyra mo man day. Shake, 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 Tyra, shake, 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 Tyra, shake, shake. Shake, 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 Tyra, shake, 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 Tyra, shake, 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 Tyra, oh.
One day me been a bamboo dam, and me see Tyra lay down there, and me ask see Tyra what she do there. See Tyra ice up she penny good wine like a boxing good. See Tyra mo man day, oh see Tyra mo man day. See Tyra mo man day, oh see Tyra mo man day.
Sunday morning I was passing, and me see Tyra lay down there, and me ask see Tyra what she do there. See Tyra ice up she made the good wine like a boxing board. See Tyra mo man day, oh see Tyra mo man day. See Tyra mo man day, oh see Tyra mo man day. Shake, 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 Tyra, shake, 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 Tyra, shake, 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 Tyra, oh.
One day me been a wakana, and me see Tyra pon the dam, and me ask see Tyra what she do there. See Tyra, ice up she petticoat, wine like a boxing core. See Tyra, momande, oh see Tyra, momande. See Tyra, momande, oh see Tyra, momande.
One day, baby, now wakana. And me see Tyra Pandida. And me see Tyra, what she do there? See Tyra, ice up, she very good, by like a box of gold. See Tyra, moment, oh, see Tyra, moment.
All right. Hey, guess what? Good night. My name is Mark Benshap, and welcome to Straight Up. It's Friday. You know, they usually say, thank God it's Friday. Lots and lots of things we have to talk about. Lots of things we want to talk about, right? But tonight is not a call in with a caller you live. It's not that at all. Because we know some of these Nimakarams and some of these Nimakaram friends and some of these Looney Tunes, if you know what I mean. They call into programs and all sort of things like that when they're, you know, we're not going to call names and flash anything across. But I noticed that they're misbehaving. And you know what happens when people misbehave, right? They do not do justice to the people that they support. And that particular individual, that nutcase, we can just conclude it. The individual is a nutcase. Probably rushed out to Guyana a long time ago. Can't return to Guyana. Don't have dog. I don't want to get into all of that. But one of these good days, I'll talk to you guys a little more, right? A little bit more. Anyways, all of you, good night and welcome. Welcome to Straight Up. Lots of things happening. Lots of things. A particular individual just sneak into Brooklyn just like that. Give his folks them couple hours notice, maybe 1 hour notice or whatever. But some of them knew what was going on. Some of them in Brooklyn are trying to play you guys out. Some of them pretend that they like you. Some of them pretend that they are with you. Some of them call in on program. They're, oh, my leader this and my. They are some of them. Some of them are sellouts. You got to be careful with them. And John, whether they're paid or not is irrelevant. Whether they're paid or not is irrelevant. Some of these people, and they do it in the name of patriotism. We are all of course we're all Guyanese. But you're talking to a man who discriminates against people back in Guyana. A bunch of corruption in his regime. Do you think they care about you? Now let's go all the way up the hill. All the way up the hill. And zoom back on Utica Avenue. And then we're not going to speak English tonight. We may speak German. You know what I mean? These folks cannot be serious. Embracing a dictator, embracing a man who doesn't give a rat's, you know what about them? Nothing about them. Absolutely nothing about them. And these people have no shame. Look, where's my wallet? Here's my wallet. Let me say this before my guest tonight is veteran trade unionist Lincoln Lewis. He's with us tonight. He's with us. You know what? This here, a quarter. And then all of this, it's Friday night. It's going to remain in my pocket. It's going to remain in my pocket. Some businesses in getting my money. I'm telling y'all straight up, some businesses in getting my money. Them in getting some businesses in getting my money. Y'all read between the lines. Some businesses in getting my money. I want something like that guy in St. Vincent. I want nothing to do with them. I ain't tying bundle with them. And that's not just because people don't have a right. People have a right to associate. I also have that right not to associate with those who have a right to associate with who they feel. And look, at the end of the day, I think this is a whole big sellout that's going on. And like people would say, money got make. Money got make, right? Money. And when they're making the money, they're frustrating the extremists like, and I don't want to flash it across the people, bumps are raising. Madmen are running out from the asylum. Some of them are running out, and I'm not knocking at people in shelters and so forth, right? I'm not knocking, I'm not flashing over anybody who's in a shelter or nothing like that. People have a right to beware. I'm not going to knock at people, and I'm not going to flash this across your mind. People who've been out of Guyana for donkey years, they've never voted. Some of them run away from their obligations of taking care of their kids, probably owe child support. I'm not flashing anything across your mind, but yet they get up early in the morning and they want to hear their voice. Hello, Carla. That is what's going on. And you guys got to be careful, guys. Valdine, how are you doing? Kendall, Tony Hack, and all of you. Colin Barnwell, Debbie Collins, the entire crew. Brenda Casey, and they have a lot of Brenda Braffett, Brenda Casey, Maureen Williams, Jai Sriram, Vashti. How are you doing? Rita Clark. All of you guys, Rhonda Lane. Good night to you, Rhonda. All of you, good night. Taylor Jones. Now I can't do this to the veteran trade unionist Lincoln Lewis. He has been sitting at the back there. He's all dressed up. I've never seen veteran trade unionist Lincoln Lewis so dressed up as he is all dressed up tonight. Good night to the people over at the Village Voice. Let's get Lincoln Lewis on with us. Good night, sir. How are you?
I am great, Mark. I am on top of the world right now. I am so good.
Thank you.
The decision today at the court, man, really put me in this mood.
Absolutely. It looks as though you're in your studio, a studio that my tax dollar helped to build. That's an inside joke, mind you. How are you doing, Lincoln?
I'm doing fine here, man. Good night to the viewers. Good night to all my friends, my comrades, and the workers of this country. Guyana,
that's how we like you.
The name is Guyana.
All fired up and ready to rock and roll. Let's touch on the fact that Irfan Ali went into Brooklyn like a thief in the night. Nobody knew. There was no flyers. There was no announcement. There was nothing. They kept it a secret. And some of those guys in Brooklyn, some of them are sellouts. What is your take on him going into Brooklyn, shaking hands and taking pictures?
Well, that is all he's doing, you know. Two things what they're good at is the PR stunt to make sure that they say that they are with you, they love you, they care about you, but yet still, when they leave there, they put programs in place to.
We lost your volume there, Lincoln, for a quick minute. We lost your volume. It's at your end. Yeah, hopefully, Lincoln Lewis will get that fixed. For some reason, we lost him there. We're not getting his volume at all. We're not getting your volume, sir. I'm not sure if you're hearing, but we just can't hear you at all.
I'm hearing you here back.
There you go. You're back. You're back up and running. Yeah, we were talking about Irfan Ali just basically moved into Brooklyn like a thief in the night. No flyer, no nothing. Absolutely no flyer, no nothing. I'm telling you, I've noticed some of the businesses that he visited like a thief in the night. I'm keeping my money in my wallet. What is your take, as you were saying earlier? Go right ahead,
let me point out to you what they are trying to do. They're panicking because what they recognize that the flow of money from North America, United States particularly, to assist the movement that they are oppressing here, that they don't want to exist. That flow of money still exists. So what they are trying to do is to thwart any effort of any group receiving any assistance from North American businesses. And we need to take note of that. They are good at going to tell you, walk in there, take photographs, tell you how they care, and to encourage people to come back to Guyana to do things. But while they are doing that, they put systems in place to make sure that those who are up there, when you return to get anything, you have to make sure that you join them or you pay them, or you move, or your whatever you bring, or whatever concessions you may like to have, you will not get it unless they say you must have it. You have to go up the political ladder, and not only what we call in Guyana kisas, you got to do that. That's how they behave. Primarily, I see it as an act trying to win friends in North America business community with a view of stopping any resources coming to help people in Guyana, help organizations like yourself, like the trade union and so forth. That's what they do. Any progressive group that will stand up to them, they want to see that flow of assistance come to an end. That's what rallies all want.
Absolutely well said. For those who are now joining us, with me is veteran trade unionist Lincoln Brandon Lewis. Lincoln Brandon Lewis is with us. We have something really, really big to talk about. No, he's not running for president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. At least I'm not aware of that, and I'm not sure, but we will ask him just about the right time. But I noticed Gully God, one of our regular listeners, is always here on time with us. Gully God, and I want Mr. Lewis to answer, or Comrade Lewis to answer this question. Gully God said, I don't too like that red t-shirt Mr. Lewis is wearing. Address him, please.
This is labor, boy. Whosoever it is, this is labor. We are before the PPP. This is a reflection of the blood that has been shed, the workers' blood that has been shed. And you see that white there? The white, the logo in white. White is a reflection that we believe in purity. We want pure government. We don't want corrupt government. This is the blood. And PPP stole our color. That is what happened. So bear with me. We were before then. The trade union movement started in the early 1900s. The PPP started in 1950. Think of it. They came after us. We made way. The first mass-based organization in this country to challenge the colonials was the trade union. The first mass-based organization, or the first regional conference to deal with people's issue in this region, it was the Trade Union Conference, Guyana and West Indies Trade Union Conference of 1926. So this is not PPP. This is the labor movement. And next week, tomorrow, Sunday coming, the following Sunday, Labor Day, Labor Week starts. You know, Mark, we are kicking off Labor Week this year with our usual wreath-laying ceremony at the forecourt of the Parliament, at the foot of Hubert Nathaniel Critchlow, the father of trade unionism in the British Empire. He formed the first union in the British Empire, for those who don't know. We are kicking off this year with an all-women platform. The women have been leading, you know. If you look at the teacher strike, they were the women out there who struggled for 4 weeks and a day. They struggled. I'm saying to you, this year, in memory or honoring the struggles of the women who went before and those who are continuing to struggle today, we are going to have an all-women platform. All the speakers, everybody on the platform will be women. And apart from that, every person who will be wearing a wreath will be a woman. The men will have to take backstage. And this year too, the women will be leading the May Day march through the streets of Georgetown.
And we will be. Thank you so much for that. I noticed Gully God came back with a big thank you for that, Mr. Lewis, because Gully God got, and lots of other people, they get very worried, they get concerned, especially when Dashan, people put on a red. Why you guys think I don't wear red shirts and so forth and so on? People panic. But I'm glad that you were able to explain the reason why union, especially the Guyana Trades Union Congress, have to wear red. You guys were the first. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it.
All right.
I hope Golly God, people with some nice names here. Golly God, James, Jamal Aziz, Lou Peter Kinsari, Joylyn Cutting, and the entire crew. People are upset, Mr. Lewis, or Comrade Lewis, as you prefer to be called, that Irfan Ali, after discriminating against people in Guyana, every single day we see it. We saw what happened at the wharf. We saw the Qatari hotel. We saw all these things that's happening. But look at what happened. Look at what happened in Brooklyn. And I know Brenda Casey and others and Burke and others and Brooklyn is reowned and Brooklyn. Look, the man walked right into Brooklyn. Right into Brooklyn. And no protest, nobody, no thing. I'm not saying that if he had announced it, it would have been different. But nobody at all. Brenda, how you allow that to happen? Burke, where are you? Oh, maybe you're Sabbath. But take a look at this, please, sir.
Take responsibility. Yep. We want you to look out for us. We do not want no segregation. No. We are one people. And if we're going to do it, let's do it together. Because we have respect for you. Thank you.
All right, President. All right, I would have it no other way. No other way. There is only one way forward, and that is united. That is for us to band together, for us to understand the challenges together, and for us to overcome those challenges.
Don't ask what the country can do for you. Ask what you can do for the country. So we're here.
Mark, I'm not hearing you, man.
As one.
Thank you.
Let's do it orderly.
We have to have you at the Hills. Just to run.
All right, so you saw him there at the Hills. Your take, Lincoln.
I haven't seen him, you know, Mark. I haven't seen the man, but let me point out to you, I don't really want to see him. As I said earlier, he has his own mission. They're panicking around here. They're panicking about what's taking place. And because of that, they try to pull out every stop. He has not announced that he's coming in, he's just running. Let me tell you something about these guys. They're only comfortable when they have state resources to be used at their disposal. Outside of that, they're a bunch of cowards. I'm going to tell you that. Without bodyguard, if Jack DOC coming down a corridor and he see a person looking like me, he look for the first door to run in. I'm telling you, these guys are cowards. He went into Brooklyn primarily because he will have protection. They are cowards. They're panicking about what's taking place down here. They're panicking that people are giving, that the news is getting out. For instance, when they went to the UN to mislead the international community about how well they treat African community, and as the moment, and they are not comfortable that they what they have said has been debunked as something far from the truth. They are uncomfortable. They will continue, and you see who they send? You understand who they send? When they want to talk, if it's not Gail Teixeira they send in, they said Africa to go and do it. You understand? When their backs are to the wall in the international space, that is what they do. So I'm not going to lose sleep over what Ali is doing, but just warn, like our comrades, warn our friends, our associates who are out there believing that these guys have anything good in their mind.
Yeah, we lost you there again, Lincoln. I don't know what is happening. Certainly not at our end, but I must apologize. We'll get him back shortly. Just have it stay there for a good 30 seconds, Lincoln, and then we'll get you back shortly. But Irfan Ali, as you all have already watched some of the videos and some of the usual suspects and so forth, they knew that Irfan was going to be in Brooklyn. And so they rushed him over, they took photographs, and they probably talking about a little piece of land and all these things in Guyana. Are you back with us, Lincoln?
I'm here all the time, but I don't know what is happening.
That's all right. You're back. We can hear you now again. Continue, sir.
Yeah, let me point out to you. If you gotta go invest to get something, they will push you around. They will push you around. You gotta pay money to get it. And if you come to do any business, they will tell you. Let me tell them what they will tell you. They will tell you that when you get to a certain point, they will tell you that one of their comrades got to get a share in your company.
Wait a minute, Lincoln. You know the whole story too. Almost everyone who goes to go invest, and they're from overseas with some sort of investment, they at Go Invest, they say to the individual, Lincoln, you're from Canada, you're from the UK or the US or wherever. In order for you to do business here, we have to have a local, you have to register locally, and we will hook you up with that person. Continue. It happens, and that is a form of corruption.
That's what even if you live here and you're doing business, they push you around. Let me point out to you, they believe that people don't know what's going on in there. They don't realize that the money that they collect for bribes inside there, that people know of them. We know of them. But the thing about it is that they don't care as long as they get money. They don't be ashamed of anything. It's a bunch of brigands we are dealing with.
You know, and the funny thing is, I wouldn't be surprised, and mind you, I'm saying this, I wouldn't be surprised if some senior ones that Go Invest become or are on the radars of U.S. law enforcement agencies.
I don't know, but I know the question here, the complaints that I've gotten about Go Invest. People come to talk to me. There are senior people in the organization who are doing it.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
People who are well in opposition tell you about corruption, right? People who are some of those who were what you call it, democracy keeper or what, who are guarding ballot boxes and all them things. Some of them
guardian of democracy, guardian of democracy.
You know the right name for them, man.
That's what they claim, guardian of democracy. Some of those top officials that Go Invest, I'm not saying anything, they could be on the radar of U.S. law enforcement agencies. They could be, mind you. 36 minutes after 9 o'clock. What is your take on this reshuffling? We haven't heard of it yet. The reshuffling of Gaisuko, moving one guy who has failed, who continued to fail Gaisuko for over 4 years now. They're taking him and making him a big diplomat in the EU. And they're replacing him with this guy who has had some controversies in terms of allegations of millions upon millions of dollars at Guy Oil. Allegations. What is your take on this reshuffling?
Let me point out to you. As we talk about the question of corruption and all these type of things, the PPP don't care about it. We have to do something else about them. Let me say to you, Guy Soko, you see that story with Tony Vera and the buying of those tractors. It's a lot of money. These tractors that you bought, that they claim are so better than the previous one. It is the John Deere engine in the same new tractor that they paid much more money for and dump the what you call the John Deere, which has been tried and tested. The tractors have John Deere engine in them. These people have bought a whole set of safety boots for workers that can be used. All of them are stocked in the warehouse. Whosoever doing it is doing it because they may be getting a cutback. These guys don't care. These guys are criminals who don't care about it. They don't care about our money. Because when they do that, and they don't make the target, they don't have to make a target, money will come from the
Yep, we've lost you again there, Lincoln. We've lost you again. And if you're now joining us, this is Straight Up, and my guest tonight is the 19th of April, Lincoln Brandon Lewis. Lincoln, do we have your voice back?
You hearing me, Mark?
We got you loud and clear now, sir.
Yeah, I'm saying to you that they will go to the consolidated fund and get the money. They don't care. They don't care. And then you will have, and when you talk, you will have the what we call the chief comic. They're running the country like a circus. The chief comic will come out to tell you who is right and who is wrong. He's always right.
You know, a circus, worse than a circus. I've taken my kids to the circus before, and we do enjoy the circus. But this is a different kind of circus in the PPP. They're worse than the biggest clowns we have seen. And I'm glad that you've put them higher than a circus indeed. Lincoln, let's go to GPL. Lots and lots of problems, mismanagement, allegations, remind you, allegations of corruption upon corruption. But Irfan Ali said there will be management change. Jack Dale says there will be management change. But we're not seeing anything at all. Talk to us a little bit, please.
Let me say to you, these people have said to us that there are how many generators they've bought. And then they turn back to tell us that now they're going to bring some badge. What happened with these generators? What type of people we are dealing with? They just take our money and do what they want to do with it. I want to tell you, when you do an audit of the people who have been removed from GPL, who are experienced in the business of generating and distributing electricity, it marvels you why they have done so. And the results we're getting from moving all these people, it is blackout and blackout and blackout. Let me go to tell you this. They believe, like the Prime Minister, they believe in running this thing from political offices. It's not about technical competencies any longer. Like you're going to see a photograph with the Prime Minister stand up with some engineers. What the hell are you doing there? That's what I intend to tell you, that, oh, we are so concerned, so the Prime Minister in there. The Prime Minister is not a man who's technically competent to solve the problems of GPL. It was rumored that it was Chelly Jagan get an heart attack when a certain man took the documentation to him to show him what they were doing with the GPL. He get an heart attack and he died. Hope GPL and cause the death of some of them. That's all I get to say about it. We have to stand up. We have to go there and we got to protest. My problem is that we have a Georgetown has been won by the opposition. And my concern is that Georgetown, where the head offices of GPL is, I've not yet seen a picket from the political operatives. They must tell the trade union must go and do it. That's how they just behave, you know. The trade union must go and do it. But the strength of the trade union, the stronger an opposition we have, it makes the role of the trade union equally strong. It gives you a better voice. We want to see a tongue that has been won by the opposition, that the opposition take the lead, and then we get to the streets to deal with this matter.
Well said.
Bring in a badge. Let me tell you what.
Sure. Before, if you can just take a point, just stick it there. Please remember that point, Lincoln. Sorry, we get somebody all the way from Pleasance now has a problem that they're talking about. Go right ahead, caller.
I live on Pleasance Line Top, and they have some heavy-duty vehicle passing here. And as they pass, the house vibrating heavily. I called Channel 16. They went here. They did an interview. They showed it on air a couple nights ago, but nothing changed. Nothing changed. The truck them still running here. My house is still vibrating. I can see cracking my concrete walls presently. Another thing, they get a helicopter that's passing here also. And when it passes over my house will vibrate serious, like, you know, rocking chair. So I want to know, when my house damaged, who will compensate me?
All right. Thank you.
I ain't finished. Jagdeo had a meeting in Pleasance. When he state he have money to fix roads, but he don't have money to compensate people. So I want to know how we get money to fix roads, but he ain't get money to compensate people. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm listening.
Another thing I'm suffering with. I get a water coming through my pipeline. The people the water company put in a meter. I don't mind paying for water, but the water you can't drink it. You catch the water today, and you get a whole set of grums in it. You let it go tomorrow, you're damaging your container. GPL on the other hand, oh boy, I tell you, GPL on the other hand, they're giving you Christmas in this month and the month before. Lights on, light off, like damaging certain electrical appliances, one thing into the next month. And presently, I don't know who to turn to. That's why I look up for your number and decide to give you a call.
Yeah, thank you for the call, though. Lots of people around Guyana and outside of Guyana have just listened to your concern. When they get protests and so forth, you guys gotta go out to these protests, go out in front GPL and register your concern.
Nobody. One is like right now in Guyana, I don't know who's the opposition.
Forget about them. Go out. Get guys from your area in Pleasance, wherever, and go down and protest in front of GPL. You guys have got to do it. Do it. When I was there in Guyana, I wasn't waiting on the opposition or opposition leader to do. I was out there doing my thing. Lincoln was there.
I was out there with you also.
Well, thank you.
But that time I did not so much of being we are seeing there.
Okay. But thank you though for your call.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Appreciate it, sir. All right, sorry about that, Lincoln. I had to stop you there because the caller called me all the way from Guyana, and he just wanted to voice his concerns, his frustration about these things happening. And I'm sure he's speaking on behalf of thousands upon thousands of Guyanese. But sorry that I had to block you. Go right ahead, sir.
Let me tell you this. These things that this guy talking, you see these trucks. I talk to policemen about these trucks. The man tell me, say, look, these trucks here, some of them don't even get license or road fitness license. They don't have that. They get insurance. They say when you stop them, they decide now the driver going to call somebody, and when they make a call, then somebody from the traffic or some way or some policeman will call them. Somebody high up in the rank will call them and tell let them go. When these trucks driving faster than the minibuses, you know.
And some senior policemen own those trucks too, those sun trucks and all sort of things. So you can't even pull them over.
Right. So there is only one thing to stop this, is to stop the lawlessness that this government is involved in. We have to make sure that we do that. That is important.
The question is, Lincoln, how will they be stopped?
Yes, ma'am.
How? By just talking? Nobody wants to go.
No, we got to come on the street.
When
we have to come on the street, man.
When they go out on the streets and protest, only 8 of them, 7 of them in front of GCOM, Rhonda Lane and a few others. It seems as though some are just more comfortable talking.
No, they're not comfortable talking. Even that they don't want to do, Mark. I want to tell you, even talking, let me tell you something. People have gone to the extent, I want to know what are they afraid of. Maybe the old story, maybe something similar to the issue that if you don't buy the dog, you won't get the cash grant. People are looking at cash grant rather than sacrificing their rights and freedoms in this country. And that is something that we should stop doing. We shouldn't allow people to feel at any point that we have to subject ourselves to a certain level of treatment. Can't do it. We are entitled to some things. We must stand up and demand them. We are entitled to better roads. We must demand it. We are entitled for continuous electricity. We should demand it. Because at the end of time, we are using our tax dollars to do it. And we must let people understand that they are the servants. We are the people who are paying them to deliver service to us. We cannot allow that group, that cabal to continue to treat us as if we are their subjects. We have to stop that. We have to move this thing to another level. We have to unite around issues and not individuals. Unite around issues. Let us understand that.
You know, not so long ago, right there in Guyana, even during the bloody period, so to speak, hundreds of folks have been killed. The phantom squads, killing squads, black nose police. Just a few of us, and those were deadly times in Guyana, Lincoln. But yet there were just a few of us who stood there in protest, lock up, jail. Some even got assassinated, but yet just a few of us were there. Are you saying now, with social media and all these things, people are still afraid to go out now? What's going on? For the days,
a lot of people still afraid.
We weren't running from police. We went right in front of the police headquarters and protest, even though they arrested us. But we weren't running from the police. We weren't running at all. What's happening now?
We have to start to rekindle that spirit and that struggle. We have to fight at all fronts. You know, we believe that a change has to come, and that change can only come if we stand up and be counted. We can't allow, and let me tell you something. Too many of us are afraid that when Thursday afternoon come, Jack Dio gonna cost me. When like I talking to some people last week. I know they're telling me, they say, my, if you go to Jack Dio will cost you up and this and that. I might tell you something, cost you back. You call your dog, you call you another name. You call your cat. You remind him that he is the cat and not you. The cat never jump over your hand. You have to take.
Oh, Lincoln has gone again there with his volume. Your volume again. Stick a pin. Yeah. Lincoln's volume has gone again. And you must not be afraid to confront those vagabonds. Moonshine and them. Do not, your volume, Lincoln, even though, yeah. Do not be afraid to confront those vagabonds, Moonshine and them. If they call you X, call them back that. But I guess some of them in the opposition doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing. They're calling people on their own side dogs. I have heard an individual who is said to be a madman call in on Kadaki's show and called me and Norman. Well, if they got issues with Norman, there's them. Norman will deal with them. But to call people dogs because you disagree with them, dogs, those two dogs? Look, Lincoln, not only these corrupt people in the regime, we got to watch some snakes amongst us too. Listen to this.
But Mr. Trasgarden, stop your nonsense now with them two dogs. Do not go.
With them two dogs? Calling on Aubrey to stop the nonsense with them two dogs. I am now a dog. Them two dogs, Lincoln. What's happening?
I hear you.
Since when? Because of a differing view or opinions that we are set to be on the same side, but I can't be on the side of a madman. Dogs. What's happening now in Guyana?
I want to tell you that when a tiger is wounded, he does anything. He lost focus. Some people lost focus. They call me names too, Mark.
Yeah, but we could
understand. I'm going to tell you, Mark. Mark, listen to me.
Moonshine and them. Moonshine and them, they call us all sorts of names. Recently, Moonshine say, what he mentioned, he called you, he said that if you're in heaven, things will go missing. And then he said that you are an extremist. And then he said that you are a racist. Lincoln, address Moonshine right now, please. Go ahead. The butcher from Unity.
I don't have to.
Yeah, we missed Lincoln there again, and no, probably his internet this time around. But we got to be careful. Some of these madmen, they claim that they are supporting Aubrey Norton. They might be deliberately doing these things to turn people away from Aubrey Norton, as they pronounce Aubrey Norton. Good, we'll deal with that on some other night. Trust me. I want to deal with it. And they're not going to like when I deal with it. Now, we lost Lincoln Lewis there for a quick minute. Maybe his internet. maybe his internet. But let me say good night to all of you guys. Yep, I noticed, and I did have I did earlier have engaged. I engaged the leader of the opposition, Mr. Aubrey Norton, and as usual, we have cordial discussions. But yet, some nimakarams and some madmen feel as though, that I'm against Aubrey Norton, and every night on my program I attack. When was the last time you guys, some of these madmen, and I don't know why Kadaki tolerates some nonsense on his show, but that's Kadaki's show, right? That's Kadaki's show. Anybody can call in, and whether they know out from wherever the mad institutes or whatever, it's okay. We're still awaiting Lincoln Lewis to be back, but once Lincoln returns, or during that time, let's see here, let's head to Brooklyn. This is what happened in Brooklyn earlier.
Take responsibility. We want you to look out for us. We do not want no segregation. No. We are one people. And if we're going to do it, let's do it together. Because we have respect for you. Thank you.
All right, President. All right, I would have it no other way. No other way. There is only one way forward, and that is united. That is for us to band together, for us to understand the challenges together, and for us to overcome those challenges.
Don't ask what the country can do for you. Ask what you can do for the country. So we're here to work together as one.
Thank you.
Woo! We gone all the way in Brooklyn, moving to Brooklyn like a thief, man. Like a thief, man. And then whoever is in, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Give me a major break. People don't know when to pull back. There's a song by, who's it? This Kenny Rogers, Gambler. Do you guys know that song? You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to walk away. And they don't know. They just want everything overnight. They just want to play this game of being fair, and they're nice. And do you think Jack Dale and Irfan and these guys play fair with those folks in Brooklyn? All Irfan wants is to get an opportunity to be escorted around Brooklyn. Right there in Brooklyn, go at the hills. I don't know when was the last I've gone to the hills anyway. By Hill. Sorry. And then there's the German on Utica. I haven't gone there. Never gone there. Never. In Guyana, when I was there, I stopped going to Germans many years now, maybe 10 years now. No kidding. When I make my mind up, I make my mind up. I repeat, when I make my mind up, I make my mind up. And I rather drink salt water or sugar water than to go against my beliefs. Now, I'm not saying that people don't have a right. Neither am I saying that if there's a PPP regime in office that everybody should boycott it. No, these people are in office under questionable circumstances. They have rigged the elections, in my opinion, and the evidence is there to question it. And that's why, again, they're running from the elections petitions. That is why they're running from showing the SOPs and all these things. That is why they rush to charge people. They just rush to charge people. Lowenfield, Roxanne Myers, Mingo, they rush to charge those guys to make it appear that there was something sinister about the elections and that the opposition, the then government, AP and UFC, were responsible for that. They know what they did. They know exactly what they did, that the elections was actually rigged to have the PPP installed. That is exactly what happened. And because of the discrimination as well. You can't go around hugging these people and think that everything is honky-dory. No. Everything is not hunky-dory. Lincoln Brandon Lewis is back with us. I'm not sure where you left off, but if you wish to continue where you left off, or let me know if we should move on to something else. At 2
Move
minutes.
on.
Pardon me?
We can move on.
You're okay?
Yeah,
Oh,
we can move on.
No. I don't want to move on. Moonshine, the butcher from Unity. Parrot Jagdev said that if you're in heaven, things will go missing. He called you a racist. He called you an extremist.
Well, I've made a point already that maybe looking in the crystal ball, I'll be in heaven. But I'm sure that heaven don't have a place for people like him. You don't have a place for drug lords. You don't have a place for men whose hands are covered with blood, and so forth. You know, I have never been a person who robbed the coffers of this country, anything. So I'm sure that the people who are like him, who have done those type of things, will not be in heaven. So when you talk about that things will go missing, is that thing that you will go missing. I want to tell you that he's good at calling names. I've never been in position of privilege working with the state anywhere where I have had the opportunity to say who must get what. He has been there. And the many accusations that that has been leveled against him of discrimination and so on, it's not media talk about discrimination. They don't point out anything that I discriminate against them. The citizens talk about him. The citizens talk about him. So he got the wrong person. When he point the finger at me, what he should remember, when he point one at me, the rest turn to him. So let him continue. Captain jump over my hand. I don't use anything, I don't abuse the state resources. I never had a piece of land from the state. I never take ancestral land. If he said that I'm a racist, let him provide the evidence where I discriminate against a people because of their race. But I can provide evidence where he has been discriminated against African community. I have the evidence that is this way you call it. He didn't discriminate only against Africans. They're Indians, Amerindians, because the houses where they're building to give to people is dark and is bigger than them. Where he got him money from, let him come to this nation and say where he got him money from. I am not the person who is involved. I want him to know that I'm not the person who is involved in buying shares or establishing a company, buying shares in Dubai, a company in Dubai, to work on a joint venture with another company to come here to buy the GPL. I am not one of those persons. I am not one of those persons. So they're running down GPL to the point where the people of this country will get fed up and say, let the foreign company come and save us. But they don't know that the people who own the shares in the foreign company are the same people who are running down GPL right now. I am not involved in those shenanigans. I want him to know. I'm not going there. He called me names, I will call him names. I will call him names. He know who I am. He know, and he say what I am. I will say to him that I never ordered the killing of anybody. I have never done that. I have never ordered anybody not to give anybody a piece of land. I have not ordered. What this guy failed to understand, that when he talk this, when he threaten people and do all kind of things, that those people don't come out and tell their friends and their family what we're going now. He's so short-sighted. I don't beat women. I don't do that. I never tell a woman to go and sleep with the dogs. If this man can treat his wife the way he treated her, she come publicly and say how he treated you. How you expect him to treat the women who are not his wives or another man? I'll come to yourself and understand who you're dealing with. All that he concerns about is to rape the couples of this country. Grandmother would say, cat jump over his blasted arm.
Speaking of the treatment of women, and of course Vashni said what she had to say. What is your take on this recent attack coming directly from the PPP, Freedom House and Office of the President and the Kwameites and them, against this journalist, Juanita Euborn, who just voiced her opinion on GPL, the spate of blackouts and so forth?
No, you shouldn't. Think about it. That's how they behave. They got threatened people. They don't want anybody to speak. But I'm saying to you, you know why they can get away with it? Because many of us are afraid to stand up in defense of people who speak on people's behalf. This question is not, let me tell you something. This question with me is not about your political persuasion, your race or what. What is right is right. And I don't look for the gray. I look at either you're black or it's white. I ain't going to shade of gray. Bonita Euborn issue should have been a serious issue which the rights organization in this country should have come out against this government. The civil society organizations should have been doing that also. The political parties should have been doing the same damn thing. You know why these guys doing it? Because they know they're going to get away with it because one or two persons will speak. The rest are afraid to speak. A change has to come. And that change came when it was slavery. Those people who were fighting against being oppressed, they said, we will fight to make sure that slavery comes to an end. You have to fight to make sure that this dictatorial government don't continue to do what it's doing. You have to fight to make sure that you have to come to terms to understand that these people don't own you. And that's a problem with us. We do it believing that we can give people, that we are afraid of people who using our resources to oppress us.
I noticed there's a comment here that I'll get to shortly. But it's what they do. They put people's lives in danger. They target people. We saw recently what they've done to Juanita Huber. They're putting her life in danger. One of their madmen or so can just harm this young woman. We saw what they did to Rhonda Lane. Frivolous charges against her. She had to pay $500,000 fine. We see it all the time. But something caught my attention here where there's someone in the comments section asked a question, and the question is concerning the someone who operates the hills out there in Brooklyn. Say the person say, Mark, I wonder what, of course, the name is the owner of the hotel, the restaurant in Brooklyn, meant when she said, you must look out for us, meaning asking Barajak to look out for us. Who is Irfan Ali? Sorry, who is Irfan Ali going to look out when the owner of the hills is practically begging Irfan Ali to look out for us? Explain that, please.
I don't understand what you're talking about, Mark.
All right.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm sorry you don't understand, but
I don't understand. I made the point before,
Yeah.
People got to come to terms and understand a lot of things. We are too caught up in making money, even from the dead. You see, when they had the funeral, you remember the funeral home in what the place name?
A&D.
A&D. You remember?
Of course.
Yeah.
A&D.
They didn't care who they killed as long as they get money from the dead. We know we're so what energizes us is the dollar. We don't care about values. And the faster we come to term and start to talk to our young people about the values are not only driven by the, I always remember a friend who we used to communicate often on. And that friend said to me, I'm concerned about this thing where Jack Dio has been saying to people, the young people. Don't worry the opposition. Don't worry Lewis and all of them. You just walk and you get a car and you get a house. Right? So people have been conditioned to believe that having a house and a car is what is necessary for them. And they don't care if they are treated anyhow by these people. And let me tell you something. People got to come to terms and understand. They got to stop this thing where they believe that these politicians will come and hand them some money. It's you money they're handing out in a way to give to buy your allegiance. The faster we come to terms and understand those type of things and talk to the young people, we need to go back to the period when the village raised the child and the child belonged to the village. Don't be bought. Don't be bought. And that is what is happening right now. People are allowing themselves to be bought. I am sorry for these type of things that are happening to these young ladies, but I'm saying to you that it's people like you, myself, and others who will have to build the cat. I don't want to call on, the opposition politicians are of such now that if you call on them, if you ever say to them that, we feel you're not doing enough, they cost you out as so Jack Deal costs everybody. And you can't have two Jack Deals at the same time. You gotta take one down. You gotta take them one at a time. I can't fight two of them at the same time. I can't fight one. And I'm fighting the one where get the state power right now. That he ain't gonna take me power and oppress me. We got to, Mark, I'm sorry that you're in the United States. You know, I always remember that day when we got locked up. I was out the country, and when I come back, I meet to Barbados. I called you, I remember well. And I said, Mark, when we come, they never put picket line in front of the office of the president. We go in there and picket. And you brought, was me, you, Norris, and then Freddie joined us. And we picket there. We picket the what you call it, the Home Affairs. We picket the police commissioner. And the third time we went back to the police commissioner, please, they sent people to lock us up. Right? I always remember, you were strong enough to come out, let's stand up and fight. We gotta get people, I'm saying this because I want to urge people that we gotta come out and fight. I want to say also I gotta talk about the worker struggle. I gotta talk about the victory today in the court and what it means. We got to talk about these things, Mark.
I want you to talk about that, the worker struggle indeed. And those were some days. But how many years are we going to be belling the cat all the time? Are there people in Guyana who could bell the cat as well? For many years, we've been doing that. Some of our friends who have been brave enough also, they're no longer with us. They've been assassinated. Some of us were jailed for many, many years, trumped up charges. Some of us were locked up dozens of times. And I recall the time we were in the Brick Dam lockup and we had to eat out of a bucket, a filthy bucket, bathe from the same bucket, flush whatever they call a toilet in there from the same bucket. It wasn't easy. A lot of people think that it's easy. Belling the cat comes with a price. And if some of these politicians, some in the opposition, who aren't prepared to bell the cat, but I don't know. I don't know. They want other people to bell the cat. Licks from police we've got. Some police, a then commissioner of police, Leroy Brummel, said that I beat him up. Well, the story happened many years ago. I came out of a car to protest in front of GCOM. He grabbed me and I grabbed him back. And the rest is what it is. Lincoln, let's talk about, those were some days, huh? People got to be brave to bell the cat, but nobody wants to bell the cat. Nobody wants to be locked up. Everybody want to run away from the police. Nobody wants to be locked up. Nobody wants, you know how many women, Lincoln, got pellet bullets? You know how many women were locked up? They were brave. Those were the days. I don't know what's happening now. I don't know what's happening now, Mr. Lincoln Lewis. I don't know. But let's get back here to this victory today. The Guyana Teachers Union took the quote-unquote government to court. GTUC joined. Their lawyer for the union, the Guyana Teachers Union, Darren Wade, joined by the lawyer for the Guyana Trades Union Congress, Senior Counsel Roysdale Ford. They got a victory today on behalf of all the teachers and on behalf of all of Guyana. Talk to us about the importance of today's victory, please, sir.
Thank Mark. Let me just say to our people that this is a landmark decision that impact the entire country and, if possible, the Caribbean. Since this decision has been made, a number of colleagues from the Caribbean countries, be it in public service or in teaching service or waterfront, have been calling me on this issue. People see it as one of the greatest victory you ever had, the labor movement ever had in the Caribbean. You know, this issue is premised there are a few things that are involved in this issue. The right to strike, arbitrary termination of the checkoff system, the denial of collective bargaining, and let me just raise one more, the issue of deducting wages from workers when there is a legitimate strike. I want to tell you, that this morning when I went in there, before the judge came to one reporter said to me, I am nervous for you guys. And I said to her, I am not nervous, I am buoyed. I am confident that when the lawyer came, I said, I'm confident we get it in the back. And I'm going to tell you why I'm confident. This is a big victory. And I was confident that we're going to win it.
Yep, we've lost Lincoln's audio there. We lost your audio there, Lincoln. I don't know what's happening, but Christmas is around the corner. I may have to get my friend a new laptop. Let's see if we get him back again. We keep losing your audio, sir. We're still not hearing you. If you can just pause for a moment while we get your audio back. There we go. I think it's back.
Yeah.
Continue, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. This morning when I heard the judge started with its 4+ hours judgment. From his opening statement, the first minute, I was confident, I was reassured that we're going to win this case. And I tell you why I was reassured. When the teachers' union started this matter, and it went into the court, Norris Witt and I sat down, the president of the TUC, and we said to ourselves, we examined this thing and we said to ourselves, this here has serious implication for the entire labor movement, not only in Guyana, but the Caribbean. We said so. We started to talk with persons who we believe will be interested in helping us through this process. But we were not able to lure anyone. I remember the day when we sat down to talk with our counsel who represented us on Ford. We situated the case in the law, the constitution, and the struggles of Critchlow. And we discussed it. And after we discussed it, Ford said, I agree with you, I should go to court. I said to him, how much it will cost? He said, don't worry the money. Let me worry the cost, because this way you're saying it has serious implication for the entire labor movement. So we started it. I'm a person, we in the trade union movement, we believe in we call it, we believe in the constitution of this country. And believing in the constitution, we believe that that is the premise that we have to start fighting. Remember the day when the arguments are to start. And the judge asked Darren, the other counsel that represented the GTU, do you want me to challenge the decision of Chancellor Keith Messiah on the issue of the Attorney General versus Muhammad Ali et al.? And that I gave him an answer. And he closed off. And then Ford took the floor. And the same question was asked to Ford. And Ford immediately said, this is what Ford said. He said, look, we cannot challenge the Chancellor Messiah's decision. He was right. And I held my ears for a moment. I asked myself why he said so. And the man turned and said, look, Messiah's decision, which is acclaimed throughout the world, in many landmark cases, Messiah's decision has guided that. He said, but you know what? Messiah's decision was grounded in the Constitution, the 1980 Constitution, 147 of the 1980 Constitution. And he went on to say, you had an amendment in 2001 which moved the issue of strike from freedom to strike to that of a right to strike. And he went on to say that the court has the authority to deal with the issues in front of it, guided by the current constitution, which provided a different framework. The judge sat there and listened, and the arguments continued. The union argument continued. And they went on to say to them, that's what the Ministry of Education and the government has done. The labor ministry, the Ministry of Education, and all of them, what they have done is in breach of the, what we call it, the grievance procedure in the collective labor agreement between the Ministry of Education, and that's what they argue. And because they have breached it, then they had to have, the workers had to withdraw their labor. And they have done it because they are also, the government is also in breach of 23(1) of the trade union recognition law, which talk about negotiating in good faith. What we have here now is a situation where this right to strike has been defined by the court. And it means that as long as you follow the process, as long as you follow the process that is prescribed, and the other side refuse to conform, you can strike. And what was knocked down today is that the Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Education has decided that it will not negotiate. And the Ministry of Labor has facilitated the process. And in so doing, the court has determined the teacher strike to be legal because they have a right under the Constitution, 147 of the Constitution. As such, it has ruled that you can't deduct pay from them because you caused it. And we have been saying that from the outset. If you remember well, we may not have said it in that word, in those words, in fact. I said to you before that they have constructively put in place a system for the people to strike. And because they have done that, they must pay them. Let me tell you what. I will urge everybody to read that judgment when it comes out, when it's written. The court has even said what they have done by terminating the checkoff is illegal. And this decision brings to fore us also that this imposition that they're doing every year got to come to an end now. And let me tell you what, if we can properly manage this situation between the teachers union and the public service, we can force this government to stop imposing increased wages and salaries on persons, on workers. It is our time now. This has strengthened the hands of the trade union. But it must not only strengthen it, we must develop the resolve to fight. This must start the fight. The issue of the wages that they got to deduct, they say they're going to deduct. I hear they say they're going to appeal. Let me make this place so. Let me tell Jagyo, Ali, and Nandalal. Are you three believe I own the CCJ? I believe I own the CCJ, so are you running there? I want to appeal for run there. Let me tell you something. They have to do what they're doing because they're shame. They're trying to fear face. This is when the judge, this morning when the judge started, and when the judge started with the preamble of the Constitution, all of them take their heads and put them in their hands because they recognize that the judge's decision will be premised on the Constitution. Let me warn you guys, plenty of you running around and all of the Constitution bad. I have always been saying, it's not the Constitution bad, it's the men them who activate the issues of governance. Not the Constitution, it's the same Constitution. We went to court. You know, I gotta give credit to a man named Rambo Gaskin. Rambo is the man who encouraged me in 2000. He said, Lincoln, go to this Constitution. And my writings over the years, if you know it, have been anchored in the Constitution because I believe in that document. Now they set up a Constitutional Reform Commission. You know what they want to do? All like these things here, they want to go there to take out all them rights when we get inside here. We get 37 rights inside. And the other thing what they want to do, move the two-term for the presidency because Jagyo won't come back. He want to impose himself on us permanently. We have to be careful about these men who are talking about Constitution. Let me tell you, I always said that the Constitution, what we need is the laws to support the Constitution. This Constitution today has been tested in the court, and today we have a landmark decision. We have to take it differently. Let me tell you something. I believe the GTU team has done well. I believe that the GTUC team has done well. You know, I'll tell you something. I have a copy. I have a copy of all the briefs. I am proud of Labor's contribution to this. I look at the work that was done by the two lawyers. What you name? Darren done a brief about 30-something pages. Young man has a far way to go. The government did a brief about 43 pages. And the TUC had a brief of 93 pages with an array of references. I have looked at their arguments. When, as I said earlier, that when Ford talk about where they situate the case, and he said where this is operated in a different infrastructure. It is not the infrastructure of that the 1980 Constitution presented when Messiah made the judgment in the case of the Attorney General versus Muhammad Ali. That was the time when we were talking about freedom to strike. In the 2001 amendment, what you do have is the right to strike. So the court has to deliberate on a matter in an atmosphere where you're talking about the right to strike. And that's where the arguments went. And I was assured at that point that would have been the beginning of the lick up and lick down of this government. Let me tell you guys, we got to start now to prepare. The battle is ahead. All the GTU has to mobilize and force this government to get back to the table. The GPSU, you don't have to wait on the court any longer. You have an example now where we can start mobilizing. They're refusing to talk with the GPSU. This here is an opportunity. And I hope that those two major unions in the public sector will lock horns and deal with this government. This is a government that don't care about people. I know in 1999, after 1999 strike and the Aubrey Armstrong arbitration award, they took a decision that they will never negotiate again with the PSU. We get a chance now. And let me tell you something. This thing here can be successful with only Coretta McDonald and Light or Grand Gardner and Yard. It has to be successful with the involvement of the workers generally. We have to do something. Workers got to come out now. Let me tell you something, workers. Unions are led from behind, but they are guided from in front. The executives are only there to guide you. You are there to come out in numbers, to fight for what is justly yours. I can go to, you can say, by the time you go to CCJ, you must be able to deal with, we have enough to deal with them or not. People throughout the Caribbean call, my friend from Dominica called me a little while before I come on his phone. My friend from Trinidad and Tobago, we talked with us before. My friend from Bahamas, from Barbados, called me to talk to me about it. A friend, an old comrade from Jamaica called me about it. Let me tell you what, we have got this here. Do not allow this government to run around. Let me tell you, coming next week will cost you. But let me tell you something. I want to tell them, keep coursing. More you course, you make me stronger to mobilize. We have to. This year, we fight for it. It's the greatest thing we have ever had. The greatest thing we ever had. When the judgments start today, they start with the preamble of the Constitution. And you go and read the preamble. And the judge said today, you had the independent constitution, you had the 1980 constitution, they said different things. But 2001 talk about rights. The right to strike, and they're arguing that, look, the right to strike or the right to have collective bargaining, all those rights are interlinked. Let me go for the thing. Mark, I want to encourage you people, workers of this country. Don't allow these people to go to any constitutional reform commission and change what the constitution said. We got to fight. This constitution is we own. And let me tell you this. Don't let these people, these pundits, to tell you that the constitution. Let me ask you something. The question I want to ask people. Constitution is not what is written and passed by the National Assembly. It becomes law, becomes the greatest law we become. There is a constitution. How do you pay taxes? Somebody ain't got to deduct it. The Constitution talk about all those things. It's the people who got to activate the Constitution. They are the brigands. They are the bad people. It's not the Constitution. And because of that, don't let anybody tell about Constitution bad. What we win today, let me seek to have it implemented. Stop these people. Let me tell you guys. Stop this foolishness where people believe that Christmas time, I think I'll come and say and address the nation. And I care about you and I give you 8%. I'm going to give you 8%. 8% of $120. You check where you're getting. But 8% for each 3 million. See where you're getting. Think. The union fight for you. The collective, we fight as a collective because we want to have a better way of life. Don't let anybody tell you that you are not to fight. Don't come and tell you that the union wrong. They will not give you what you would like to have. They will give to you what they feel you must get. Right back time. Oh, let me tell you something. I want to thank these men. Ford and what's his name? Rysdale Ford and this guy, Darren Weed. The two of them, they fight. They fight. Together, we can move mountains. And I want to tell you this, Some people will say that we can't move mountains. But I tell you what, you got a thing with dynamite. Can blow it up. And we can get bulldozer to push it from where it is and carry it another place. And when you can do those type of things, why we can't stop these people from doing what they're doing to us? Think about it. Thank you, Mark. You have anything else you want? Ask me your questions now.
And thank you so much, though, for this evening. I know you and I spoke earlier during the course of the day. And in the interest of transparency, I'd let our listeners know that when Lincoln and I spoke earlier, he told me, this was hours ago, he told me that he was going to get some rest to prepare up to be on my show. And now he wants to hold me up for the rest of the night. It's not going to happen. I'm done. It's not going to happen.
Mark,
here. I have no further questions to you. I'm not going to ask you about heaven or nothing. That's what Jack Dale, who's concerned that he's not going to make it to heaven. Jack Dale, who is concerned about calling people racist, he's the biggest racist. He's the biggest extremist. All manner of things. That is Jack Dale. I agree with you, Lincoln. If Jack Dale calls your name, call him back another name. He calls people's names. If he calls people criminal, call him back a criminal. He calls them a racist, call him back a racist. All these things. Somebody got to bell the cat.
But let me tell you something, Mark.
Sure, sir.
I know you want to go.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll tell you something.
Please.
You can have it your way all the time. Okay? I know what they will do. This government, even these decisions about the issue of the checkoff, they will not want to honor it. They will not want to honor it. Even the court decision, they don't want to honor. They don't care. They believe that they are bigger than anybody else. And that's why I believe the judge suck it to them today. Right? They will not want to honor it. Let me tell you something. I want to urge the teachers, together with the union, we have to find a way to make them honor it. We have to find a way to make them honor it. Okay? Let me not sit down, let me not make joke with them anymore. These people got to be treated the way they want to treat people. It's your money, not theirs. We have to take strong position as of now onward. I don't frighten me, you know. I don't frighten. They can't do us. Let me tell you. You know, if they used to wake up, I have an example to give to you. You see 1997, when you had the petition, the election petition, remember that story? When the petition there.
Esther Pereira.
Yeah, remember that story? There were politicians who were waking up in the morning with people around the house. Politicians who were waking up. People used to make life difficult for politicians in this country. You see Janet, she ran away from the presidency because people made life difficult for her in this country. When they were going to the, this year, when they had the, last year when they had the election petition, I told you, Mark, that I'm not expecting anything from it. I told you the only way you will get something, people got to be in the streets. I told you that. And same thing I told you came to pass. Those are issues. I'm using this as an example. These issues are issues for the streets, and people must understand that. These are not issues that are going to be resolved in boardrooms. The implementation and honoring of this agreement, of this judgment, requires people in the streets. That's where we have to go. They will tell you that I am calling for people to go in the street. I have no apology about that. It is our freedom. It's our right to go in the street and protest for what we want. If you sit down and don't protest, you're not going to get anything. For you, my brothers and sisters in the trade room, come out Labor Day in your numbers. Come next week Sunday, a week after next Sunday. Visit 2 Sundays on the 28th and support the women. I want to see you women outside here. Labor Day, which is the Wednesday following. Come out in numbers. We got to get things done. We got to start. Let us use Labor Day as a starting point of rallying our people against this dictatorship. I see like a sleepy Mark. I want to allow you to go. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
I'm listening to you, Lincoln. You know, this is the people's show. This is our show. And I'm not going to have my guest on and beat my chest and say that this is my show. This is the people's show, mind you. And Lincoln, a lot of people have been reading the comments and so forth. I can go all night. I can go till 2 o'clock in the morning if that's how you want it. And I can do that, but just not tonight. But I thank you.
I want to tell you what we're going to do. Here what happened. Here what I'm suggesting. You have to mobilize some resources for this struggle. I gone up there to stop the resources from flowing. You have to counter Ali. You and Burke. You, Burke, and others got to counter Ali. We need the resources to do things. I ain't hiding from it. We don't get here. I bring it from there. They know that they terrorize all them business places. So they don't give any longer.
That's the objective. You're right about that. And notice the mischievous guy by the name of Sean Anthony Ben is saying, keep him right there, Lincoln. Keep him right there. All of them want.
Hold on. Sean Ben and I, we argue often, but he's my cousin. You understand me?
Wait,
and we don't forget.
Cousins, so Sean Ben is your cousin.
Yeah.
I am Sean Ben's cousin. This is what's going on, man.
Yeah, Sean Ben and family.
Yeah.
And when he cuss me up, he just say, don't worry when me cuss you. Me and you is family. So, Sean, good night.
Yeah, but those of you who got your car and you need a body shop out in Brooklyn to fix, in South Georgetown, go to Sean Ben. He's a little bit disgusting, but I'm giving him a free ad. He means well. He's a relative of mine. He's a blind follower of Aubrey Norton, and nothing is wrong with that. Aubrey does nothing wrong for Sean Anthony Ben. It's okay. And speaking of that, tomorrow they get, I believe it's tomorrow, they get a big, and we got to pay our bills here too, they get big people party. And I may go to this big people party because I'm getting up there. DJ Strimpy is going to be there. DJ Keith Beresford is going to be there. If you're in New Jersey, guys, and you want to hang out, get some stress release. It's cheap. Just go right there and support those individuals. You were going to say something, Lincoln?
I just want to say, I'm just warming up to deal with this government. I hope that we can all hold hands and crusade across this country dealing with them. I want to tell you something. For you teachers, understand that the trade union has fought for you. And while the trade union has fought for you, you have stood up for the trade union. You're a strong group of women and men. You see, I say women first because women been in front. But one of the things here, the judge was brutal on the government for all those things that they said. Like what they said that the strike is political because Coretta McDonald, who's General Secretary of the Teachers Union, is a member of the opposition in Parliament, so she influenced people. The judge was not kind to them on it. These are this wicked bunch of men and women. I think I saw somewhere where the judge said that
The teachers went out fighting for bread, but instead they got stoned
Stone. Yeah.
stone in return. Thank you so much, Justice Kissoon, someone that I've known over the years. He's been a fair guy. I've appeared in almost all of the magistrates court and all of the high court, but I've never appeared in front of Justice Kissoon. I believe at that time he was in his law chambers, but he's a very fair guy, very honest guy.
Yeah.
Gino Prasad as well, and there are a few other judges. Uh, um,
Yeah.
Other judges, some of them sit and waiting to be confirmed and so forth. And senior judges waiting to be confirmed. They're not as brave as these guys. So congratulations and thank you so much, Justice Kisu. And thank you, Lincoln. Thank you so much for the Guyana Teachers Union. Thank you to the Guyana Trades Union Congress and your senior counsel, Royzier Ford, who assisted you guys in this victory and is assisting young Darren Wade, who happens to be your nephew. Thank you all so much, Lincoln. When you guys are going to be broadcasting on Labor Day, we will carry it live right here on 107.1 FM. But Lincoln, it looks like you don't want to go. You still want to, because every time.
You see, I slept before I came here, Mark.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like I said, this is our show. You're my guest, and whenever I have guests on this program, I treat all of my guests with respect. And I treat all of you guys in the audience with respect as well. The questions are soft, some of them are hard, but at the end of the day, I treat my guests with respect. This is our show. Monday, guys, Monday, we have a special guest. I'm not going to tell you guys who that person is, but on Monday, we'll have a special guest right here on 107.1 FM. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the night, will be over to you with, I was going to say over to you with Sean Anthony Ben, but the host of that show is Wayne Caesar. Wayne Caesar. Lincoln, thank you so much. I don't want you to find something else to say, but congratulations again with the victory and the Guyana Teachers Union and the Guyana Trades Union Congress. Thank you, Lincoln.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate it. Oh man, you guys are teasing me. Mark, you run out of gas. Mark, you gotta go. Mark, y'all don't realize Mark has a job. You know, Mark babysit. Mark got to do some of the folks' immigration work. So if some of you some of you have, your citizenship you want to fill out, your whatever, you want to file your I-130, your adjustment of status, give me a call. You know, I'm up early in the morning. Gosh, you heard Lincoln say that he took a couple of hours rest early in the day. But Monday I'll have a special guest on. I'm not going to let that name out of the bag just yet. Somebody's saying, Sean Anthony Ben is saying that I should flash somebody as a guest. No. This show is for good people. We don't have mad men on this show. We don't have mad people on this show. So Sean Anthony Ben, don't mention nobody, but flash this and flash that, whoever that is. We don't deal with mad folks on this show. Thank you all so much. But I've got to go. Don't forget this Big People thing tomorrow. Big People, go out and support them, man. DJ Strimpy is going to be there. And one of the guys who is constantly on this show, Strimpy hardly comes in our comment section any longer. But DJ Keith Beresford is also going to be there. Go out and support them, guys. Go out, support them 100%. All right, let me see some of your comments. I've got to go, Rastaman. Take care. Hazel Johnson, take care. Michelle Lowe, take care. Yadelka, all of you guys. I can't call all your names, you know. Joylyn, get a bottle. Are you ready? Oops, sorry. I should not be saying that live on radio. But the people in Brooklyn, some of them people in Brooklyn sell out. Some of them sell out. Some of them sell out. Nadia Zitman, how are you? Desiree Simon Liverpool, Deborah Lynch, Sharona Lynch, all of you guys. I love you all. This is our program. We bring our guests and we respect our guests. We will have a guest on Monday and we will respect that guest. I'm not going to tell you guys who it is, but we'll respect all our guests. We will ask them soft questions and we will ask them hard questions, but never are we going to. I'm sorry, I scared you guys. Have a good night. But I know when I'm in Brooklyn, there's certain places you ain't going to see me. Me ain't spending my money. Me ain't spending my money. Selwyn Peters, how are you doing? Selwyn is asking whether I've retired from protest. No, not me. I'm going to protest until I'm 110 years old. I'll bell the cat even longer. Oops. Did I say bell the cat? Michelle, you guys have a good night. Candy, have a good night. Joylyn, Jacqueline, all of you. Taylor, Debbie, Beatrice, Candy again, Nadia, Brenda Braithwaite, Brenda Casey, Sean Disgusting, Anthony Ben, who's a diehard supporter of Aubrey. You can't tell Sean nothing about Aubrey. And those of you who know Sean is stum a little bit, especially when he's upset. I'm sorry, not picking up. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Vashti too. Good. Giselle Chickpepper, Ginny's Booker. Hey, what are we gonna do without you guys? We're a big family here. Big family. This is our show. Not my show. It's our show. Tony Hackab out of here, guys. Until Monday. But don't forget, Wayne Caesar is going to be on tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, right here on 107.1 FM. Tata. Love you guys.
My name is Jasnity Kaldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cup, and what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
List of Trash Garden, stop your nonsense now with this two, with them 2 dogs. Do not go on your program anymore. Because but Abinatu, List of Trash Garden, stop your nonsense now with this two, with them 2 dogs. Do not go on your program anymore. Because all day to break. Abinatu, List of Trash Garden, stop your nonsense now with this two, with them 2 dogs. Do not go on your program anymore. Abinatu, List of Trash Garden, stop your nonsense now with this two, with them 2 dogs. Do not go on your program anymore.
Take responsibility. We want you to look out for us. We do not want no segregation. No. We are one people. And if we're going to do it, let's do it together. Take responsibility. We want you to look out for us. We do not want no segregation. No. We are one people. And if we're going to do it, let's do it together. Because we have respect for you.
But Abinatu, List of Trash Garden, stop your nonsense now with this two, with them 2 dogs. Do not go on your program anymore.
Take responsibility. We want you to look out for us.
But Abinatu, Little Trash Garden, stop your nonsense now with this two, with them two dogs. Do not go on the program anymore because
Are we gonna do a body man walk right now? You ready? Fuck, so let me go now. Hear me sing now. Body walk, body walk, body walk, everything. Body walk, jump, body walk, body walk, body walk, everything. Body, listen. Body jump, body jump, body jump, everything. Body jump, body jump, body jump, body jump, everything. Hear me sing, so big body can't wear it tight pants, big body jump.
With another one, straight up, Black Messiah. Aye, who tell the truth? Mark Ben Stop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Ben Stop, registration is the truth. Mark Ben Stop, straight up from the root. Mark Ben Stop, who tell the truth? Mark Ben Stop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Ben Stop, registration is the truth. Mark Ben Stop, straight up from the root. Mark Ben Stop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Ben Stop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can need it, don't contact, the crip can walk. Who tell the truth? Mark Ben Stop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Ben Stop, registration is the truth. Mark Ben Stop, straight up from the root.